Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Supernatural Watch Along podcast. Today we are discussing season 1, episode 4, Phantom Traveler. Phantom Traveler was directed by Robert Singer, a name we will all become very familiar with as the show goes on, and was written by Enoch Kripke, Sarah Gamble, and Riel Tucker. The episode starred Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles, Jamie Ray Newman, Brian Markinson, Daryl Shuttleworth, and a selection of other people. The episode aired for the first time in 2006, and according to IMDb, a friend of John's calls Sam and Dean for help about a strange recording on the black box of a crashed plane. They soon realize that the demon which caused the crash is picking off the crash's only 7 survivors. It's very true, but the synopsis for this episode absolutely spoils that it's a demon off the bat before you get into it. So, this episode was rated 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
So, Ali,
Yes.
this was your first time watching The Phantom Traveler, and it is your first official introduction to a demon in the show.
Yes.
Without going into too much detail, because we'll discuss everything as
Of
we
course.
go on, general thoughts on the episode.
I got a very Final Destination meets The Exorcist kind of vibe from the episode, if that's the right
Okay, I mean that's probably not a bad combo, to be fair. I mean, if that's what you're getting from it, that's pretty good. Kieran, you've seen the episode multiple times, obviously, unlike Ali. What's your thoughts on this one? General overview.
I think it's a good introduction to demons in the series overall. I mean, I have a few niggles with the episode that frustrate me, but that's probably because I've seen the latter seasons like also multiple times, and I feel how they do demons slightly improves, albeit same lore wise, but their essence kind of feels different. In this episode,
Yeah,
the
there's
first
definitely
possession you see almost
Yeah.
seems to go through the eyes.
it
Uh,
absolutely goes through the eyes, not just the
yeah.
first one, but both the possessions we actually
Well,
see take place happen through the eyes.
I felt for the pilot, it almost felt like eyes and nose, but laterally as the seasons progress, that animation has got much better and improved. But I still think this is a great first foray into demons for the series.
So, on that note, let's open with our opening scene. So, we open in an airport with a man who is clearly extremely nervous to be getting on a plane. And he goes into a bathroom, tries to calm himself down, splashes some water in his face, and black smoke that we later find out to be the essence of a demon enters him through his eyes. Sounded a bit sexual until I added to the eyes part to that.
Possessed him is the word you're looking
It
for.
possessed him. The man then gets aboard his flight, and 40 minutes in, stands up and quite casually opens the emergency
I
door
love how casually.
in the air, where he's sucked out and the plane goes down. Hence, Ali getting that Final Destination vibe.
Yeah.
So Kieran, as you've alluded to, Ali, as the show goes on, so as you see, it was kind of Black Smoke, the demon, but it was
Yes.
a bit bitty. Almost
Felt very
pixelated.
pixelated, yeah.
Yeah. That changes. So as the show
Alright,
goes on,
okay.
it will just be Black Smoke, less
Right,
pixelated.
okay.
They also change it so that the demons will enter through a person's mouth and not through their eyes. So
Right, okay.
even more
It
sexualized.
evolves over time. So
It does,
that's good.
and I've got to say, I think it evolves for the better.
Right. Okay.
However, I still like this opening. We then move on to Dean, been asleep in bed and someone enters their motel room where he reaches for something under his pillow. Turns out it's just Sam because Sam can't sleep, and we find out that Sam has been having nightmares about Jess. And we also find out that under Dean's pillow is a very large hunting knife. Not sure I'd want to sleep with a knife like that under my pillow. I would absolutely slice my hand up. What it is. Kieran, how do you feel about sleeping with hunting knives?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think under the pillow is a great place to store a sharp utensil. So probably not wise. I mean, I've got no problem with you having one in your house if that is what people want, but having it next to your head, I'm kind of restless and sort of roll about, and I
Yeah,
definitely take it an eye.
I would absolutely cut my own ass up
Yeah.
if I was like that
Yeah.
under the bed, under the
Yeah.
pillow. So anyway, Dean receives a call, as the IMD synopsis alluded to, from someone him and his dad have helped before, helped them take care of a poltergeist. Kieran, you've gone a bit blurry.
Oh, let me fix that.
Yeah, we then find out because they go and speak to this individual they've helped before, and they want to go and see the wreckage of the plane, see what they can find out. They don't have access, so for the first time we see them try to impersonate Homeland Security, and in order to do this, Dean goes and gets the badges made up in some store of sorts.
Because that's what they do, eh?
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
my security badge. The store, I mean, the store.
yeah, he goes in and casually
Well,
gets them
It
printed
looked
up.
like a paper sort of print shop sort of thing. So
It's
I'm
a print
assuming it had-
shop.
Yeah.
I got that.
So,
I got
I'm
that.
assuming he's designed it himself, and he's not been like, "Hey, go and forge these for me."
Yeah.
But
That would be an
he's gone
offense. Yeah.
got them laminated and everything, and Sam said, "Right, if we're doing it, we need to look the part," and they've gotten themselves what Dean later refers to as monkey suits. So yeah, they suit up, and in doing so, we get the epic "Paranoid" by Black Sabbath on the soundtrack. That being said, Ali, you're not watching it on the same format that I am. I'm
No,
watching it on Blu-ray. Did "Paranoid" by Black Sabbath play at this point in the episode? Do you remember?
No, I don't think it did, actually. If it did, it was very low.
Okay, well, it was very obvious in the
Yeah,
I like,
didn't.
Aussie hits. It's
I know,
know.
but I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Okay, fair. So if anyone's listening and they watch the show on a newer format streaming services, let us know what song they played during this episode. Kieran, how did you watch it? Did you go Blu-ray? Or did you-
Yeah. After noticing that they changed the music on episode 3, I decided I'd rather shoot myself in the face than ruin the experience.
I'll
So-
need to say, I
I
think
thought
I'll
you
wait,
were... Sorry, Ali, what were you going to say, mate?
I think I'll wait till the box set comes down a little bit more in price before I purchase it.
Okay, how
Yeah.
much is the box set? Have you checked that out? Have you?
It's been about the last time I checked, it's about 60 or 80 odd quid. So-
Should have said, man, I just gave my second copy of them all away.
Oh well, that's okay. It's okay. These things happen.
Al has them, so you could steal them off him. So
Anyway, they enter to see the plane, and we find out that Dean has made himself an EMT. EMT? That's not true. EMF. Electromagnetic field reader, which he made out of an old cassette
Walkman.
tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
For young people, a Walkman is pre-CD, and CD is pre-MP3, and MP3 is pre-whatever shit you listen to now because you're confused from. Go listen to vinyl, you savages.
Did I, so going off topic here, I took in previous work, someone I was looking at, someone I was working with, took her to a record store on Stockbridge, fantastic record store. And we went in, and when we left, well, she was considerably younger than I am. I think she was 19. I'm 36 for anyone interested. And she said to me when we left, no, they're definitely not. Said to me when we left, did you see that they've got those old like square DVDs, the old rectangle ones? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like rectangle DVDs? And she's like, it was what they had before the DVDs were discs, and you put the whip. Like,
Oh my God.
are you talking about VHS? And she's like, yes, that. I'm like, right. Yeah, now I feel old. So that's anyway, completely off topic.
Indictment of education. That's what that
So,
is.
I mean, I think we're the last generation to have used VHS.
Yes.
I think
I went from VHS to DVD, discovered Blu-ray, and I ain't upgraded any more than that.
Kieran's upgrading to 4K as we speak. I'm too cheap for it. I've stuck at Blu-ray, and I'm like, that's good enough. I've got all the
Yep,
streaming services in the
exactly.
world.
Yep.
Don't need any more. That
He's
being
lied.
said,
Call Blu-ray is not good enough. Upgrade to 4K. It makes a difference as long as you're not blind. Yes, I am blind.
fair. Anyway, we then find that there is residue on part of the plane. The residue that we quickly find out is sulfur. This gives them the clue that it was very clearly a demonic possession, for whenever there are demons, there is sulfur. We then see the pilot who survived the crash get possessed. This is the second possession of the episode. He goes to kind of get his confidence back, flying a small plane, and 40 minutes into said flight, he intentionally crashes the plane. So, what was your
No
thoughts
other
on
way
this,
to say that.
Ali?
Strange. Just very, it just happened like that, which I found was kind of like, that's the demon's main goal, is just to, it's like he's a plane crasher. That's how it gets its kicks, essentially, is possess and cause these plane crashes. But it was one of those things that it was, you knew what it was, but I think it would be nice to see a little bit more detail of it, of just a quick cut scene and, oh, that's it, it's happened, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's very true. We find out in the episode that, according to, well, at least according to the show, in Japanese folklore, some demons are responsible for certain things. They mention earthquakes, things like that, and there are certain disasters. And they're like, maybe there's one who's responsible for a lot of plane crashes.
Yeah.
And through some research, they find out that there are a lot of planes that apparently went down exactly 40 minutes into their flight, which they say is biblical numerology, and 40 is the number for death. So in the Bible, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And
yeah.
things such as that.
This show gives you an education too.
The show supposed to give you an education. Yeah, fun and education.
Caveat: don't go off the show for Bible lore. If that's why you're watching, to brush up on Judeo-Christian religions, probably slightly inaccurate places.
Yeah, there's probably more reliable places you could check than Supernatural, but
yeah, probably has a slight esoteric bent.
I am no theologist, so I cannot say with any certainty how accurate any of this stuff Supernatural puts in, but it is entertaining if nothing else. So, and then we kind of go to our finale, as it were. So they find that the surviving stewardess from the flight, Amanda, is going to be working on another flight. So they attempt to stop her with a interesting phone call where Dean tries to blag it and stop her getting on the plane. Does not work. And so they board the plane themselves, and we find out that Dean is scared of flying in what actually is quite a funny turn of events. As earlier in the show, Sam was asking Dean if he's scared of anything, and Dean says no. Turns out Dean was a bit of a liar. He definitely has a fear. And there is one point in this episode where we're getting up to it on the plane and he properly squeals, and I genuinely laughed out loud. And I've seen this show I don't know how many times, and every time he screams I laugh out loud because it just gets me. I don't know why. It just gets me every time. But they get on the flight and they decide the only thing they can do is perform an in-air exorcism. It's like their version of the Mile High Club, I suppose.
A quick fire exorcism with, they just so happened to be able to get holy water on the plane, you know?
Yes. And so they identify the demon by saying the name of God in Latin, which is Kieran.
They say it's Christo.
They do say it's Cristo. Whether or not it is Cristo, I do not know, but they absolutely say it is Cristo.
It sounds good for the episode. So
It does. And apparently a demon will flinch when the name of God is spoken. And so they find that it is the co-pilot who is possessed. So they talk Amanda, the flight attendant, into bringing the co-pilot back, where Dean beats the shit out of him. Like he honestly just wheels on the guy. And yeah, they use holy water and perform an exorcism. Mid-exorcism, we find out that the demon knows about Jessica and about her death, and that rattles Sam a little bit. We then, Sam absolutely saves the day in this episode. Dean, after the demon kind of leaves the body and is crashing the plane, Dean squeals and holds on for dear life, and Sam is able to complete the exorcism. So now we didn't do this in previous episodes, but I've decided we're going to keep count of which of our two favorite hunters defeats the episode's villain. So with having done that and taken today's episode into account, Sam has defeated 2 villains and Dean has defeated 1.
Oh.
And the remaining villain defeated itself, the boy in the water. He wasn't defeated by either hunter.
Got a bit sleepy and just thought, fuck it.
Yeah. But Sam defeated Constance, the woman in white. Dean defeated the Wendigo. And now Sam has exorcised the demon. So we are 2-1 Sam. Just because I thought it would be fun to keep track.
So I'm assuming this happens a lot as well, that both of them, it's like their ending, so to speak.
How do you mean?
As in like the vibe that I get from this show that is that they are obviously a tag team, but sometimes there might be
only one can get the pinfall, my man, you know?
That's essentially what that I was building up to, is essentially just one of them can only get the pinfall on it.
That's it. So the episode then ends with them finding out that John's voicemail tells anyone who calls to phone Dean, and that Dean will help. Aliases used in this episode, we have one when Dean phones Amanda and tries to talk her out of getting on the flight. He uses the alias of James Hetfield, who happens to be an incredibly famous musician. and the lead man in Metallica. Which is funny because about 2 minutes after that, Dean is humming Metallica on the plane to try and calm himself down. So that works out quite nicely. Yeah, Kieran, now that we've discussed said episode in detail, you said you've got a few wee niggles, or what are your niggles with it? What's your thoughts?
Well, niggles are partially about the animation for the demon. Another niggle that I feel skipped over fairly, not quickly in the episode, but seems to be brushed over. So you've just been in a plane crash, over 100 people on the plane, 7 survivors. Within a matter of weeks, the stewardess is back on another flight. She's clearly
Yeah.
a fucking sociopath because there's not a chance that if I was on a plane crash, she'd be like, you know, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to work. I'd be going, no, I'm gonna sue this airline for all the money I'm worth because apparently they've ruled it as a mechanical failure. So I'm entitled to sue them and I'd never work again. I'd be comfortable. So one, she's a dumbass, and two, who the fuck gets back on the plane after it's crashed? Not a chance. Not enough money in the world. So yeah, other than that, I feel like it's a glaring hole in the episode. The only person that felt truly believable is the survivor who checked himself into the insane asylum because he's like, I'm clearly fucking nuts because I saw someone open a 2-ton pressurized door. So he's like, yeah, reasonable response to being in a plane crash, bit PTSD, never flying again. Uh, so yeah, but other than that, I really enjoyed this episode. I think it's fun. Well, I like Sam and Dean's dynamic. I like their reaction. Essentially, Sam telling them we can either both get on the plane or I'm getting on the plane, but there's no third
There's no
option.
third option. Yeah, Dean's like
Uh,
shit.
but yeah, I mean I realize we're early in season 1, so there's a lot of things that are, they're still building up the stuff, main stories, everything like that. But their plan isn't exactly sound. I mean, we've all seen The Exorcist. That does not go well for the priest, the person doing the exorcism. And they're like, you know what will make this safer? 40,000 feet in the air on a plane.
We'll just strap him to the fucking floor. Yeah.
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 So it's like, yeah, I've seen that film.
To be
You know,
fair, their plan was stop her getting on the plane. After that failed, they didn't have a plan. It was just, well, we're
bomb
going to have
threat.
to react.
Done. Entire airport shut down in a second.
That's true. That's
They
true.
didn't
That would have
think
been a
that.
better plan. That
That is
would have
that
been a better plan.
that's a fantastic plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, as long as they don't get caught. But if they do, they've got Homeland Security badges. So,
Exactly.
it's, by the way, for any listeners, we do not condone phoning and bomb
No,
threats.
we definitely do not. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
100% do not do that. You
No.
will go to jail.
Ali, what was your thoughts on this episode?
I enjoyed it. I had to watch it a couple of times just to fully understand what it was, and then as soon as I understood it a bit better, I enjoyed it a bit more because I was like, yes, it is definitely it's two horror franchises sort of mixed together, which gave it a nice theme.
So we don't get much kind of overarching main story stuff with this episode. It pretty much is just
A wrap up kind of episode in a bun.
a
And-
standalone, but as a standalone, I think it's a very fun standalone. But now, having said that, let's get to our tier list and place our demon onto the tier list. So that's not what is going on. Here is so where is our plain demon?
Middle or row.
There.
There you go.
Yes, I've got him. Okay, so he's not going C, or he might go C, depending on what everyone says. But what, Kieran, is your thoughts?
I think the first demon we see is a high B.
High B?
Yeah.
So you think higher than Constance?
Oh, maybe same level as Constance. I think she is a high B as well.
Okay. Ali, where would you place our plain demon?
Oh, as this will be the first for me seeing a demon from this franchise. So yeah, I would agree. I would probably have to keep going, which is what I am doing, obviously, to see how much more better it gets as we go along.
Okay. Well, if we have two people agreeing B, I don't disagree, I suppose. Demons in general, yeah, pretty standard. So okay, let's leave our demon
Glad you
on B.
caveated with "in general," because
Yeah.
some demons are epic.
Yeah, but
We will
in
get to them.
general, we will get to epic individual demons, but as a whole, demons are pretty standard, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay. Ali,
S-
what would you rate this episode out of 10?
Even though I did enjoy it, it wasn't as it was just one of those episodes that it's wrapped up in a pretty bow and it's done for the week. So it's the episode of the week. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay, Kieran.
Yeah, not far off Ali's assessment. I'd probably say a 7.4, 7.5.
Okay, and I will actually pretty much agree. Yeah, I'd say maybe 7.5. It's it's a fun episode. You could put it on and enjoy watching it, but it doesn't add much to the overarching story. And as far as standalone episodes go, it's a good one. We will get some not great ones. We'll get some really great ones. But yeah, it's just one that if it was on TV and I wasn't watching the show, I would still watch it. Yeah, I would stop to watch said episode. So yeah, 7, and 7.5. And with that being said, let us know in the comments on whatever platform you're watching or listening on, where you would rate this episode. And join us next week when we will be looking at episode 5, Bloody Mary.
Before we wrap
Until
up,
then,
we should specify that if you do rate the episode and you say it's higher than a 7.5, you're fucking wrong, because we may say it's our opinion, but it's not. It's 7.5.
That's put in the comments.
that's what it is.
That's what it is. I'm sorry. We're not being biased. We're objective. 7.5.
And with that bold statement, we will call it for the day. We will see you next week. Until then, bye for now.